Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Thursday. As I like to say, we're on the downhill slide toward the weekend. Today is October the 26th, and anyway, I hope that you had a good Wednesday, a good hump day. Like I said, we got a little bit more rain yesterday, and God's blessed us immensely with this rain. We so needed it, and God always comes through, when He knows what's best for us, and we can be assured of that. But anyway, now it's Thursday morning, and we're working toward the weekend, and hope you're doing well this morning. Hope you're well rested, and hope you're ready to tackle the opportunities. Excuse me, opportunities that God has placed before us on this Thursday morning. This morning, I want to share with you a devotional entitled Moral Illiteracy. Our country, was founded on Judeo-Christian principles. And more specifically, many of our founding fathers, they professed belief, in Jesus Christ. And though revisionists, tried to change that narrative, a careful study of history will show that it is true. But it's our departure from this truth that has brought us to where we are, today. With abortion on demand, on an epidemic scale, marriages falling apart at record rates, and rampant violence in our streets. This should not surprise us. I mean, the Bible tells us in Hosea chapter 8, verse 7, they have planted the wind and will harvest the whirlwind. How true those words are. I mean, our departure from God's principles has brought us to the moral illiteracy that we have today. In his book, Why Johnny Can't Tell Right from Wrong, William Kilpatrick, he wrote about how, as a college professor, he started noticing what he called signs of moral illiteracy among, his students. I mean, for instance, in a discussion about the Ten Commandments, no one could list them, either individually or even as a class. Kilpatrick was right in noting, a connection between morality and the Ten Commandments. And you see, that's because, in the Ten Commandments, we find absolute truth written by the finger of God on tablets of stone. It's truth that we can depend on, truth that we can believe in. With the Ten Commandments, God is basically saying, here's what I've done for you. I've forgiven you of your sin, redeemed you, and bought you. Now here's what you can do for me. You can keep my commandments. Excuse me. The Bible says in 1 John chapter 4, verse 19, we love each other because He loved us first. In Matthew's gospel, we read about an expert in religious law who tried to trap Jesus. In Matthew 22, verse 36, he said, Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses? And then Jesus answered in verses 37 through 40, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments. Now, Jesus, He wasn't doing away with the Ten Commandments. Rather, you see, He was summing them up perfectly. I mean, if we love God, with all our hearts, souls, and minds, then we won't have any other gods before Him. We won't worship idols or take God's name in vain. And if we love our neighbors, as we love ourselves, we won't steal from them, lie to them, or covet something that belongs to them. You see, essentially, Jesus was saying, get this down, and the commandments will come together for you. It all starts with God's place, in our lives. We will serve what or whom we worship. You know, Jesus said in Matthew 4:10, you must worship the Lord your God and serve him only. You know, if God is number one in our lives, then everything else will find its proper balance. Listen, but if he's not number one in your life, then everything else will fall into chaos. And that's what's happened to our world today. People have made idols of everything else in the world, and they've put God second, if second at all, or even thought of God. And so my prayer is that we as God's people, we would make him number one in our lives, because then everything else falls into place, as the scriptures tell us. And so anyway, hope that encourages you here on this Thursday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.